Take a look.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Hero Chris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up on Twitter, TikTok, the community post. You already know the vibes. And it's Wednesday, so you know what that means. It's time for your AEW Dynamite review. And it's also a very special day. It's the American Dragon's birthday. Happy birthday, Bryan Danielson, to one of the best wrestlers in the whole wide world. So yeah, man, this is time for your Dynamite review, and this is the last episode of Dynamite before Double or Nothing this weekend, and this took place in California. The crowd was okay, show was alright. As far as it being a go-home show, up until the end, it didn't really feel like a go-home show. It just felt like another episode of Dynamite with stuff happening leading up to a pay-per-view, but it didn't feel like a go-home show. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. Anytime you see Orange Cassidy on the card for a Dynamite, you know he's going to open up the show. And he'll open up the show in a tag team match with Will Ospreay taking on Trent Beretta and Roderick Strong. Now, the match itself was fine, but I do have a slight issue with seeing people wrestle before their pay-per-view match. Like, I kind of had an issue with this when FTR and the Blackpool Combat Club had their feud where they wrestled before their actual tag team match. I'm like, if you're showing me this now, I kind of don't want to see it during the pay-per-view. Like, if you're having a pay-per-view match, I would rather see it on the pay-per-view than on a free episode of Dynamite, but it is what it is. Now, it's kind of what we got from this match, even though they kind of told an okay story as far as, you know, the whole Don Callis family connection with Orange Cassidy and his whatever it is they have going on. And on top of that, you know, you have Will Ospreay, who's a member of the Don Callis family. So there's that. And for what it was worth, it was a really fun opener. It was a really fun match. You know, Orange Cassidy's doing dives and beating up Trent Beretta, and Will Ospreay is just awesome. He's doing flips on everybody. You know, he's flipping off everybody. All that fun jazz. And somewhere during the middle of the match, the Kingdom tried to get involved. Will Ospreay did a flip dive over the top rope, landed on them, and then out of nowhere, we saw Mr. Wardlow with his man bun. The return of the Wardlow man bun. The feeling has been restored on the 5-year anniversary of AEW. So, you know, good for you, Wardlow. Even though this isn't probably going to lead to anything with you, but you know, he's there, you know, he has his man bun back. And then on top of all that, you had Roderick Strong and Trent Beretta win. And then after the match, they beat up Will Ospreay. Don Callis does absolutely nothing to help. Will Ospreay is bloody. None of the Don Callis family comes out to help. So, you know, that's definitely something to keep your eye on. But yeah, as far as Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy's matches against Trent and Roddy, they should be fine, but I don't know, maybe there was another way to get to this point without them having to actually wrestle before the pay-per-view. That's just me. But you know, we have more set up for the pay-per-view. We have a new match announced. It's going to be the Bang Bang Gang, Jay White and the Ass Boys taking on the returning Death Triangle. You had the Bang Bang Gang come out, and they have so many championships that they can't just carry them out. They had to bring out a little rolling wagon, a little trolley to carry all the championships. And then they end up calling out Pac, and Pac says, listen, all this 3-on-1 stuff has to end. I got my boys with me. I got the Death Triangle. It was made official this Sunday on Double or Nothing. The Bang Bang Gang taking on Death Triangle, and this Saturday on Collision it's going to be the Ass Boys taking on the Lucha Brothers, so that should be pretty cool. Ray Phoenix came out looking super fit, super jacked, man. He's come out there, he's posing, he's flexing like he's The Rock, you know, so, you know, good for you, Ray Phoenix. So now, this is the point of the show where it kind of starts to go downhill a little bit for me. Because of course, whenever I mention things going downhill, you know that the learning tree isn't too far behind. So Chris Jericho's out on commentary for the triple threat eliminator match between Shibata, Hook, and Brian Keith. Now, all three of these dudes competed in qualifying matches this past Saturday on Collision, so that's how we're here. And as far as this match went, man, it was alright. My only complaint is how it ended. Now, Tuesday on NXT, they did something similar. They did a double pin spot between Wesley and Joe Coffey, and that's how it led to the triple threat match at Battleground. So for Dynamite, they did something kind of similar. They had Hook and Shibata kind of double teaming on Brian Keith. They both locked in simultaneous submissions, and Brian Keith tapped out while he was locked in submissions. Like, he was locked in the Red Room, and I think he was locked in like a leg lock or whatever from Shibata. He ended up tapping out. So it's going to be a triple threat match for the FTW Championship at Double or Nothing, which is fine. I have no problem with it being a triple threat match, but it's the fact that how we got here, especially with the way they did it on NXT, they did it much better, and I feel like they could have done they could have went another route to get to a triple threat match that didn't really involve Brian Keith, looking like a jabroni or whatever. But it is what it is. We're gonna have a triple threat match for the FTW Championship under FTW rules. The only thing I did like about this was the fact that you had Taz on commentary with Chris Jericho, and he was kind of going off on Chris Jericho, saying that this isn't what the FTW Championship means. This isn't what it stands for. But then you had Chris Jericho saying, "Yeah, as the longest reigning FTW champion," which is a total lie. After this, we had a squash match. Something you rarely see on AEW television, a squash match between Takeshita and Matt Sydal. Takeshita made quick work of him. And then after the match, he's beating up Matt Sydal, and then John Moxley comes out and hits him in the face with the microphone. And they say, "Yeah, Double or Nothing, me and you, only eliminator match, IWGP Championship." It's not like we didn't already have a graphic, but hey, more TV time for Takeshita, and this did make him look real cool, made him look real strong. I would love to see more TV time for Takeshita, because he's dope, and this is where the best wrestle, you gotta showcase a guy like Takeshita, because he's one of the best. So yeah. So after we leave the squash match, we go into whose house? Swerve's house. He makes fun of the EVPs, makes fun of the Young Bucks before he goes out to have his match with Nick Wayne. And out of all the things that were advertised on this card, this was something I was excited for the most. And I gotta say that the last match that Nick Wayne and Swerve had was a really great match. So I'm excited to see what they do here, and it was okay. It wasn't as good as the match I saw before, but to be fair, this match wasn't really about the match. It was about the aftermath of the match. So Swerve ended up getting the win with the house call, and the house call is probably one of the coolest looking moves in wrestling history. One of the coolest looking moves in wrestling today. I love it when Swerve does it. He just looks so smooth and cool when he does it. And then after the match, Christian comes out. Christian and Killswitch come out, and they try to put the beat down on Swerve. Swerve swerves him, and then he's trying to get his hand on Christian. They run to the back. Christian pulls a Grand Theft Auto. He's trying to get away in the stolen car, but he's cut off by Prince Nana. And I'm like, yes, Prince Nana's back. Because I kind of figured he would come back in time for Double or Nothing, but it's good to see Prince Nana back. And then Swerve and Christian have a fight. Swerve pulls Christian out of the car door. They fight on top of the car. Swerve has a DDT on Christian on the roof of the car, and it's looking like Swerve's gonna hit Christian with a concerto, but Christian is able to escape. But I am excited for this match, man. They're building this up as one of the triple main event match between the Swerve and Christian match, the Mercedes and Willow match, and the Anarchy in the Arena match. And I'm like, I get it. WWE does it all the time, so I'm not too mad about that. Even though you pretty much know what the actual main event is going to be, but this did do a good job of building up the hype between Swerve and Christian Cage. So after this, we had another match I was kind of excited for, and that was between Kyle O'Reilly and Malachi Black. And I'm excited. I was excited because I've been watching these guys since NXT, so I'm thinking we're gonna get something maybe not on the same level as their NXT work, but something comparable to that. And honestly, we didn't really get it. Malachi Black, my boy. I mean, normally we see this man in either trios matches and tag team matches. I can't really remember the last time I've seen him in an actual singles match. They said he's like undefeated. I'm like, is the undefeated streak in the room with us? Because I haven't really seen this dude wrestle a singles match in a hot minute. And as far as the match goes, I don't really know what they were cooking. Like, they were doing a whole bunch of strikes and a whole bunch of MMA stuff. And I'm like, if this was an NXT Underground match or a Fight Pit match, fine. But they're having an actual wrestle match. I mean, I want to see them do some wrestling shit, man. Like, wrestle. And we didn't really get that. But we did get a cool black mask from Malachi Black, and Kyle O'Reilly is a master seller, so that was cool. And then after the match, you have Malachi Black, standing up, he's celebrating him, he's like, yay me, yay House of Blink. But then the lights go out, and it's all red, and it's kind of reminiscent of the Attitude Era, and you kind of hear something that's not really the Brood theme, but it's kind of similar to it. And then you get an actual bloodbath, not the stuff they did in WWE where you couldn't really show blood. It was kind of something similar, but not really. It was actual blood. And then you have Edge come up on the screen. He's just dressed like he's from the Judgment Day again. So we're kind of getting a hybrid of Judgment Day Edge and Brood Edge. And if we are indeed getting Brood Edge or a Judgment Day Edge, there's two things I want. I want the big giant Judgment Day throne that he used to sit in. And I want him to come out to the other side, just because I know that would be hilarious. And I know if anybody could get away with it, it's Edge, because he's legit cool with the band Alter Bridge. So if he wanted to do it, he really could. But, that would be pretty funny to me. So after this, we had a tag team match between Timeless Toni Storm, Mariah May, taking on the team of Saraya and Harley Cameron. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I kind of checked out. I wasn't really paying attention. I was kind of just doing stuff around the crib. And, I did catch the fact we had a double kiss spot. And I don't even remember who won. One thing I do know is after the match, Serena Deeb came out. She attacked everybody. She attacked Toni Storm, Luther, Mariah May. She got her flag back. And she hit Toni Storm in the face with a shoe, and then she locked her in a half Boston Crab through a chair, which was a pretty cool visual. And as I'm watching this, the only thing I could think of is the debate that Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer had between who's the heel and who's the face between Toni Storm and Serena Deeb, because AEW, God bless them, they don't do a good job oftentimes of presenting heels and baby faces, because they try to do the thing where it's up to the fans. I'm like, nah, you gotta have a presentation of who's the heel and who's the face. And Toni Storm's at that position where nobody's gonna boo this woman. People like her too much. You're not gonna get her to be booed. So just go for it, man. Just go for the gold and just make Toni Storm face. Turn Serena Deeb heel if you have to, or have her face or have Toni Storm face actual heels. I don't know, because you had to pivot and turn Deonna Purrazzo heel after presenting her as a face. So just go for it, man. Pull the trigger and turn Toni Storm heel. So, but it's time for the main event, something that's being built throughout the whole entire show. It kicked off with the Young Bucks having like a staff meeting saying that Darby Allin is banned from the arena. He's banned from ringside. FTR's not there. They're injured or whatever. But Darby Allin's banned, which means he's totally going to show up during the Bryan Danielson and Saddam Hussein match. And also they did a commercial for their new shoes, available at all Champs and Foot Lockers and whatever. So get your Young Buck shoes today. Anyway, this leads us to our main event match. Satnam Singh versus the American Dragon Bryan Danielson. And in theory, I understand why this match is taking place, because, you have the Anarchy in the Arena match. You have the EVP saying that we want to put a bounty on Bryan Danielson's head. We don't even care who wins or loses the match. We just want Bryan Danielson hurt. So I get it. My only issue with this is, if you do want to put Satnam Singh in this position, that's fine, no problem. But when's the last time you've seen Satnam Singh on television? When's the last time you've seen Satnam Singh wrestle? The last time I've seen Satnam Singh wrestle was at Revolution. That was in March. We're in May. Damn near the end of May, and we're just now seeing Satnam Singh wrestle. So there's that. But it is what it is when it came to this match, man. It's pretty much what you would expect. Shenanigans, Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal shenanigans, Sanjay Dutt in his pencil. He broke a pencil, so pray for the pencils. But it was pretty much what you expected, man. The match ended in a no contest because everybody ended up beating up Bryan Danielson, and nobody's out there to save him because, like I said, the FTR, they're injured. Darby Allin's banned from the arena, wink wink nudge nudge, until he wasn't, because you cut to the Titantron, the Young Bucks, they're out there, the Jack Perry and the Okada, they're out there beating up Bryan Danielson, and then you cut to the Titantron and you see a SUV pull up, and I didn't catch who was driving at first. I had to because I get the pictures for the review, and it was actually Tony Khan driving the SUV, and I see Darby Allin hop out. It looks like he has a gun. I'm like, yo, is he about to murk the Young Bucks? I'm like, that's not cool. It wasn't a gun. It was actually a flamethrower, which is actually way more dangerous because it's fire. So you have this cool visual of Darby Allin, spraying the flamethrower. Bryan Danielson's waving around the steel chair. I think Nick Jackson went through a table. He's crying or whatever. And that's how you end the show. And up to that point, like I said, this show really didn't feel like a go-home show. But Darby Allin and his flamethrower and Bryan Danielson and his beard and his braids and his chair, they really did turn it around. So Tony Khan is officially back, which doesn't surprise me at all because, after the Double or Nothing, you already know there's going to be a media scrum, and you can't have a media scrum without good old TK. So there you go. But with that being said, guys, what did you think of this week's episode of Dynamite? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you watch it? Did you not? Do you not care? Are you excited for Double or Nothing this weekend? Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Be easy. I'm out. Peace.